right, guys. Sorry about that. We're going to try this one more time here. We're going to start from scratch with the Dynasty mock again. And that hopefully works out this time. So,
yes.
Sorry about all that. Thank you, guys, for those who have been tuning in, for those who are tuning in again. And we are live. So just have a few spots left open on the mock draft here, and we just dropped this into the live chat as well. If you haven't, please, we appreciate if you hit that like already. And go check out Flock Fantasy. I know you guys saw that in the intro. Flockfantasy.com. If you guys use our code domain, then you'll get 30% off on the subscription, and it really helps us out as a channel, really supports us a lot. And please use code domain. We've got exclusive exclusive videos and exclusive articles, which Avery wrote a really good one about Jordan Addison, who I'm sure we're going to talk about a bit today, and exclusive Discord chats and all that stuff. So
it's not just
rankings, not just us. It's obviously with Mason Dodd from Flock Fantasy, Fantasyland, Fantasy Stock Exchange, Fantasy Endgame as well. All really great fantasy and dynasty creators. So we are a go. We are almost full here. Got 3 left, but let us know what you guys, if you guys have any questions in the chat. Fantasy Stock Exchange is live with us right now. Says, let's get it, lads. Nice to hear from you guys. Been really fun to be a part of the team over at Flock Fantasy. So been a ton of fun. I thought doing our first exclusive video was a lot of fun.
It was.
Simon and I did it while Avery was gone. He's still gone, but we did like a full breakdown on the fantasy and dynasty outlook for the Packers wide receiver room specifically, but also Jordan Love, Aaron Jones, and AJ Dillon for this year. Just where we think those respective targets are going to go in that offense with those wide receivers, what we think is going to happen with Aaron Jones and AJ Dillon, how much we think Jordan Love is going to be able to support so many high-producing fantasy assets, if he can at all, and just really breaking that down from a numbers perspective. So it was tons of fun, a lot of stats, a lot of good content there, and I think if you guys head over there, you'll enjoy it as well. So, and then Avery's Jordan Addison stuff was pretty telling, I thought.
A lot to learn.
Do you think he's a good value in Underdog?
Jordan Addison, wide receiver 37.
37,
Absolutely.
38, yeah. Yeah, I mean, when you look at what Adam Thielen does with Justin Jefferson past few seasons, like, you got to be liking Addison's value here. And we know that he probably doesn't have a bunch of character issues with the speeding because he's taking his dog to the vet.
Yep, there you go. Producer Sam, anyway, we could go ahead and get that mock draft on screen. We have 3 spots left.
3 spots left.
So we can start to...
We got 14 watching, which means that
17 watching.
17 watching. That means there are plenty of people that are watching right now that could be in the mock, but they're not. So go ahead and get in the mock. We're going to do this again. It's going to work this time. Fantasy Stock Exchange hopped into the draft with the lads. Let's go.
There we are.
Yes, sir.
It's definitely an expert live mock draft at this point.
Oh, yeah. Expert. Chase Claypool is off the PUP list, which...
That's a big deal.
That is a huge deal for you fantasy owners of Chase Claypool.
Top wide receiver right there. You know Justin Fields and his top 5 weapons group in Chicago.
Top 5. I still continually get comments on the YouTube about Justin Fields. I don't think it's just, at this point, we're fighting an uphill battle. It's just not working. We've said our piece about Justin Fields. And we got 2 left, waiting for this mock draft to start up here. I think I'm going to, while we're waiting here, I'm curious what other notable guys in football started training camp on the puppy dog list. I know Breece Hall did. Javonte Williams notably was not. He is a full go.
Oh, you're talking about this season.
Yeah.
I thought you meant like started their NFL career on
No. He's a full go for training camp. So Kendre Miller is on the puppy dog list.
He got moved off.
He did? That's good.
Yep.
Breece Hall, J.K. Dobbins, 2 very notable guys. Dobbins, I don't think will ever, at this point, is he ever going to recover from his knee injury? Who knows? Chase Claypool, back on. Marvin Jones, whatever. Randall Cobb, whatever. KJ Hamdog. At this point, we're just hoping for Hamler to do anything at all. 2nd round pick. That's the only reason he's still in the league. CJ Uzoma, which is, I guess, notable for anyone.
Uzoma did nothing last year. He averaged 4 points per game.
But Rodgers can do something for his tight ends. Stock Exchange, ashamed to admit that I have dumb amount of Chase Claypool on underdog.
In round 18, there's no risk with anyone. I mean,
there's not.
You're
shooting for an upside guy. Chase Claypool has shown that he has touchdown upside at some point.
Absolutely.
So not bad.
Definitely.
Not bad. We still got 3 spots left. We got to fill these out.
Is there any way we can send to the old mock? That's too bad.
We've got it on the Discord. Got it in here live. We got 15 watching.
Yeah.
Got
Sorry,
other people live
everybody.
streaming too.
We're back.
Set up looking fire, lads. Dig it. Appreciate it. It was a lot of fun to put up. Actually, it took way short. Not as long as I thought it would take.
Yeah. We got one of my hippie friends in here helped us set it up. We got to do it ourselves, and that was really a privilege. You get to take pride in what you set up.
Yeah, we built this desk too. Actually,
we really did.
We did.
True
we built
story.
it from scratch. It is a actual true story. I'm not being sarcastic. Charm says, Hooker. I assume you're referring to Hendon Hooker.
Preferring, you say?
Referring to Hendon Hooker.
No, it's an insult to you.
Oh.
Nathan's wife's upstairs. You might want to be careful what you're saying.
Loco says 12 teams, super flex, full PPR, start 12, 4 point per passing touchdown. My first Dynasty best ball league. Trade Burrow, Higgins, and 25 second for Ritter, Levis, Lamb, and 24 first. Sorry, you missed the answer to your question on our last attempted live stream, but we did say we'll take Burrow, even though it's close. We'll take the side that has the elite quarterback. It is hard to get long-lasting elite quarterbacks in Dynasty Fantasy Football. If you have Burrow, keep Burrow, unless you're getting an absolute haul. For us, that's not an absolute haul. It's not worth moving off an elite level quarterback.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And there we go. We just started. Got our last people in the draft,
All right.
and we're good to go. Patrick Mahomes right off the bat. No surprise there. Like we were just saying with that trade, you want to get your elite quarterbacks in your Superflex Dynasty draft. It's the most scarce position in football. There's really only about 20 guys that you feel good about having it all, and 10 that you're excited about. So to lock down Patrick Mahomes 101, I'm just preaching to the choir here. We all know what it's like.
Yeah, Dave Elliott says Claypool is a fine round 18 pick. Fields has to pretend to throw to someone as he vultures all the touchdowns.
Man, I've never even said it that way.
That's pretty good.
That's funny though.
I appreciate that.
That's funny. I like that.
Look at this. Identical start.
It is. There we go.
To the last mock. Pretty much set in the top 9, top 10. No question. Lawrence Lamar going back to back always. I feel like we have to address this, because if you don't know now, I'm surprised you don't know, but we're from Indianapolis. We're based in Indianapolis. We're diehard Colts fans, and yes, right now it sucks, but at least we have a little bit of hope. And this Steelers merch over here, it's a terrible towel. So we have it up because it's a terrible towel. It's cool, but it's not like we're crazy Steelers fans or anything. We're definitely Colts fans, and we recognize, if any of you guys are Steelers fans here, you totally have the Colts number. We're never going to beat you. I mean, we'll go there. You'll kill us. Man. You'll come here. You'll destroy us. I mean, last year was our best chance to beat you guys, and it just didn't. We just wanted to lose. We want to lose to Pittsburgh every time they come here. So I guess this is our offering.
Peace offering.
Yeah, peace offering. Please.
It's not going to work.
Please.
No, it's not.
It is cool though. It's a terrible talent.
Producer Sam's not even a football fan, and he knows.
Dude, I went to the game against the Steelers last year.
Producer
and
Sam gets the best tickets.
It was basically a Steelers home game.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, Steelers fans travel well.
Steelers are, every fan base has their rivals, right? I think as Colts fans, outside of the Titans and the Patriots, I'm fine with any team in the NFL. There's no teams I really hate.
Once you go to an Eagles game, playing the Colts with Eagles fans. No.
I have friends from Philadelphia.
Okay,
you're on the clock.
But you weren't there. You would change your mind.
I have friends from Philadelphia, and I don't mind them. Cowboys fans are annoying, but I don't hate the Cowboys. I'm sorry. I know I'm hating on you. The fantasy stock exchange in the chat right now saying Cowboys fan myself. Take it for what it is. But the thing that is funny to me about Cowboys fans is most of the Cowboys fans I know aren't even from Texas. I have a friend who I was just hanging out with the other day from Texas.
Yeah.
And I was like, "Are you a Cowboys fan?" No, not at all.
That's
He
why
just
they
doesn't
have
like the
the
Cowboys.
America's team title. But I will say
Jerry's
I
World.
will say this about the Cowboys. One, the Chiefs should be America's team because it's Patrick Mahomes. Everyone wants to watch Patrick Mahomes. I don't want to watch Dak Prescott every Sunday night. The only reason I'm exasperated by the Cowboys is because they get so much media coverage, it makes me want to die. And I just want to hear them talk about people other than the Cowboys and if Dak Prescott is a dark horse for the MVP this season, because he's not going to win MVP. That's all I care about. But outside of that, I don't mind Dak Prescott. I don't mind Tony Pollard.
See, look at this. This is
I
funny.
love CeeDee Lamb. I love CeeDee Lamb.
Both of the Cowboys fans in the chat right now. Anna Gwynn, Cowboys fan from Indianapolis. FSE,
Yeah.
Cowboys fans from Canada. I think that's pretty funny. Okay, we got some interesting picks here to talk about. Let's start talking about this mock draft right here. We got Tua going over Kyler. What do you think about that, Nathan?
No. I'll take Kyler. I think Tua, okay, so Tua, yes, they picked up his 5th-year option, and he has concussion issues, sure. I mean, I still think in general Tua is a pretty good value because of the concerns about his injuries. Kyler Murray, towards ACL, he's still under $240 million contracts for the next 4 seasons. So, like, give me Kyler.
Yes, I understand that. But, I mean, Tua was starting to sneak into the first round mid-season last year.
JT to the 3-2
That's
is
what I was looking at
criminal.
First off, CJ Stroud's going.
Nice.
That's about a round earlier than I usually see him going, and that's where he should go, right there.
Yeah.
But he's still a round behind Bryce Young. That's crazy to me. I think
Unreal.
CJ Stroud's going to be great.
Oh
But looking
goodness.
at that beginning of the 3rd round there, you're getting some great value, and that's why we're so against non-3rd round reversal startup drafts. And I don't know if any of you are commissioners. You're on the clock.
Thank you.
But we are huge advocates of 3rd round reversal. I'm interested to hear in chat what you all think of the 3rd round reversal strategies. But I'm looking. Let's say you're at the 2 spot. You would have started off with Josh Allen, Amon-Ra, and JT. Now you're gonna get, not quite that value. You're gonna get good players, but it really makes up for the guys on the end who aren't landing. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Joe Burrow. Those studs that absolutely. Oh yeah, it's great value there.
Matt DeVito says, Steelers fan here. I like Richardson for you Indy boys. So do we. Appreciate the support. I'm glad that there's people outside of the Colts fans rooting for AR because, man, we need a lot of support right now.
We were just talking, speaking of the Steelers.
It's been almost 10 years since we won the division. That's kind of crazy.
Yeah,
Feels like
2014
it hasn't
was
been
last
that
time.
long.
Ouch.
Yeah, I know. For some reason, it feels like it hasn't been that long. And then I'm like, holy crap. I guess it's true. Because, they made the playoffs a couple times after that, but it's always been wild card.
Yeah.
So,
we were just talking about, we did our podcast tonight on from Spotify. We do a weekly podcast. And we talked quite a bit about the Steelers tonight, didn't we? I feel like maybe that was you and I before we started recording, but we've been talking about George Pickens and Deontay Johnson a lot.
We talked about Pickens a little bit, I think, in the pod. We talked more about the Ravens and the Chiefs, though. So
that's true.
If you guys don't know about our podcast, we kind of got back a little bit to our roots. We started out as a podcast. No one really listened to us, and then we did YouTube stuff. Successful.
We started a year ago, just recently, right?
No, we've been going for, YouTube
a little bit
for
more than a year.
YouTube for a year. We've been doing this for over a year and a half now, I think. Podcasting and stuff, but I would definitely go check that out. We talk about the training camp hype, all the stupid sleeper alerts, and the different situations around the league with wide receivers and who's going to be the lead wide receiver for the Chiefs, who's going to be the lead wide receiver for the Ravens. I've got some opinions on that, and you can check that out in our pod. So auto draft pod is up. Daniel Jones at the 4-6. I like that.
Thank you. FSC in chat says right here, there's drafting it. It's Danny drafting at the 3 spot. He started with Jalen Hurts, Kyler at the 210, which is great. It's still criminal to me that Kyler's falling that far. Kyle Pitts, 310, and Drake London. That's a team you feel great about. Because even if Pitts and London aren't great this year, you have Kyler, so you're not in a rush to contend. That gives you some really, really good value.
Yeah, it is.
I almost went for Devontae Adams.
Yeah, Devontae, man, he keeps falling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
4.8. I almost got
like
Devontae
him
at the 5.12 in the startup we did last week.
Insane.
It was crazy.
It's nuts, dude.
He should not be going that low.
Yeah.
Okay, we got some questions.
Dynasty dumpster fire. What would it take on top of Lamar?
Or did you miss the Saquon one?
Oh, yeah. Chat, if y'all trade Saquon now, what do you want in return?
I think we can give some insight into that. Right now, I'm not trading Saquon Barkley.
Yeah.
It right now feels like a time where people are expecting that they're getting a discount on Saquon. If you're going out and buying him, you're wanting a discount because that's what's, I guess, spurring you to go try. So in my eyes, I'm not selling him for a discount. I expect Saquon Barkley to give me 16 to 22 points per game this year. That's a pretty wide range, but I don't really see him doing less than 16, and he has that ceiling. And I'm not selling him personally.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree. I think Saquon has not reached that point as a running back where he's going to decrease in value and never hit a spike again. Like, he has yet to get his deal. And once he does, it's Saquon Barkley. He's going to increase in value.
Absolutely.
Next question here. What would it take on top of Lamar to down tier from Hurts? This is from Dynasty Dumpster Fire.
Ooh. We got a lot of Dynasty creators in chat right now.
24 first. They're both under pretty much the same contract. And at this point, you're just riding with whoever's been healthy of recent. That's Hurts. I think that's worth a first. The gap between those two.
Yeah, not even to mention Hurts has a much better offensive line. I mean, the Ravens don't have a bad offensive line by any means, but you trust the offensive play calling in Philadelphia, and you look at Devontae Smith and A.J. Brown compared to Zay Flowers, Rashad Bateman, and OBJ. You just got autoed, Nathan. It's the best wide receiver core Lamar's ever had, but it's still not anything close to what Jalen Hurts is playing with in Philadelphia.
Oh, Najee Harris at the 5.5. That was a good auto pick. I was going to pick him anyways. That makes me happy. Actually,
Sam, you're on
the
the clock.
may take him Walker, but
yeah, I was going to take Walker if he hadn't gotten drafted.
Yeah.
Next
question here.
We got our. Let me shout out Sam real quick. Sam over there. You guys can't see him off camera as our producer. He started working with us in the last few weeks. Kind of been hanging around. One of our really close friends been hanging around with us since the beginning, and he's gotten into his first two Dynasty leagues now. Sam. We can't hear you.
Yeah,
just one.
Honestly, shout out. You've done some really good drafting. You understand the trade market really well.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Allegedly.
Riley Roberts, did you answer this Pittman question already?
No.
Why
Pittman
so much hate on Pittman recently? Value seems to be going down. Completely agree. In fantasy and in dynasty, I think fantasy there's a bit more of an argument for this year for the reason he's going in the 30s. I think it's too low personally, but it's Anthony Richardson. He's a total wild card from a passing game perspective this season. And dynasty, man, I'm eating him up. Just take him. And it's not because I'm a Colts fan. I still am being conservative with Michael Pittman. I don't have a ton of shares of him or anything. I have maybe two or three.
Yes.
And I'm happy. I'm happy with his value right now.
I'm skeptical he hits 1,000 yards this year. I mean, very skeptical with AR. I think AR is going to struggle to get more than 2,300 passing yards.
Yeah. But for the last couple seasons, he's just been flirting with the 1,000-yard mark, which is, a mid wide receiver too, and he's ranked lower than that. And he's a target hog. So when you're talking PPR leagues, like that does have value because it's not like a DK Metcalf that has boom bust ability where he's getting 1,000 yards, 7 touchdowns off of 100 targets.
Yes.
I mean, you could get 800 yards and 5 touchdowns from Michael Pittman with 160 targets and
he averaged 9 targets per
receptions.
game last year.
Yeah,
and
unreal.
AR will be passing the ball less than Matt Ryan, but it still gives him a very good floor if he's getting 7 targets a game.
Yeah. Ooh, Swifty! This is the highest I've seen him go in a while. At the 6.5.
I think you got so excited there, man.
Yeah, well, I feel like I have to be the Swifty truther this year. Man, look at all of our guys being in the chat here. We got Fantasylands.
I know, it's great.
In the house right now.
We got Dynasty Dumpster Fire, Fantasyland, and Fantasy Stock Exchange. All the boys.
Up.
Okay. When's the next domain episode coming out? It's my fave now. That's a good question. Are we going to be able to post the audio tomorrow morning?
Yeah, it should be out no later than tomorrow morning. We might release it tonight. We took a little bit of time off because when Avery left, we knew that he was going to leave, and we wanted to do as many videos together as possible. So we recorded
seven videos in one day.
7 videos in one day, 12 over 2 days. And it was a grind, but the podcast took an L there for a week. So we're going to start moving the podcast to Mondays. So they'll come out on Monday night, Tuesday morning. Again. Yep, thank you. And yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's fun.
So we got Matt DeVito, thank you for following the podcast on Spotify. I hope you enjoy it. It's a lot more of a free flow, just let's talk football, let's talk about random things. We enjoy it. It's a lot of fun, and we can kind of relax and get to decompress a little bit after long hours in the studio. It's fun.
Yeah. It was nice chatting today, talking about cacti and stuff like that.
We got a question from Fantasyland.
Oh, it's a good
Talk
question.
to me about AR-15. I know y'all are Colts fans, but I never really heard your thoughts on him. Do you think he could limit JT's upside? And I really hope you reference TFG here.
Yeah, so this is when we pull the we're not as biased as we may seem at times with Anthony Richardson card, because we talked up Anthony Richardson a lot during the pre-draft process. Before he even came to the Colts, we said he has the ability with his athleticism to be a top 5 pick. At that point, we started projecting him to be a top 5 pick, and we said from a rookie draft perspective in Dynasty, he should be in the S tier with Bijan Robinson because of his fantasy upside, and in Superflex leagues, he's a quarterback. And that started becoming commonplace after the draft, and we were really proud of ourselves. And then we were excited that the Colts got him. But our thoughts on him are, we're not expecting a ton from him in the passing game, but we're expecting more than what Justin Fields did last year. And I know that's setting the bar really low, but
Justin Fields did last year, not what Justin Fields will do this year.
Yes.
Let's clarify that.
Yes, that is correct. But our thoughts on Anthony Richardson is that his rushing upside is going to be very good, very impactful. But the way the Colts franchise has functioned for a while is I could see them developing him as a passer by kind of throwing him into the fire, making him throw outside of his comfort zone. I mean, there could be some ugly throws, some ugly interceptions, but they're going to have to – that's the only way they're going to be able to develop him. So do I think he's going to have 1,000 rushing yards like Justin Fields did last season? No. I would say no more than 750, 800, but because, I mean, they still have Jonathan Taylor. Fields didn't have a Jonathan Taylor last year. And that was partially the reason why they ran him so much, is because it was David Montgomery and Khalil Herbert or Justin Fields. And so that's kind of my outlook for him for fantasy this year. That's why we like him as a pick in best ball. And, I mean, what round are you getting AR in? The 8th, 9th rounds? At quarterback 12 in best ball.
I think he's going like around pick 100.
Yeah.
I believe his ADP at one point in time was exactly 100. So, yeah.
Yeah. We said during the pre-draft process, if Anthony Richardson gets top 5 draft capital, and if he gets put in the right situation with his combine measurables, he literally, from a dynasty fantasy football perspective, has the upside to be a Patrick Mahomes in dynasty. Like, that much value. A Jalen Hurts, a Josh Allen.
Without even considering his passing ability.
Exactly.
But, I mean, look at those guys. The reason Josh Allen is that high was because of his original upside, and then he developed. You're kidding yourself if you're saying AR does not have that same upside. He has the highest upside ever, and that's unbiased. Like, he broke the combine.
Yeah. And
did you reference TFG at all?
I have not yet.
Okay, so that franchise guy on YouTube, I'll say the piece here. Great YouTube channel. Shout out to him. We watch all of his content. Marcus over there, he does incredible work. Really helps us see the NFL from a different perspective. He had the Colts, I believe, as like the 31st quarterback room in the NFL.
Because he's a rookie quarterback.
But when he went to talk about the run game, they had like the 3rd highest run game in the league. Because when you pair Jonathan Taylor and Anthony Richardson, so one of the best running backs in the league, a top 5 running back by all metrics, if you know what you're talking about, and then Anthony Richardson, you're going to have a really, really hard time defending the run game. Both of them will see their efficiency go up because you're going to have read option. You're going to have, whatever linebackers are trying to read the play. They're not just going to be able to zone in and say, well, if they're handing the ball off to Jonathan Taylor, we're going after him. They're going to have to deal with both of those guys, 2 of the hardest guys to tackle in the open field, 2 of the fastest guys with the ball in their hands in the NFL. I mean, immediately, Anthony Richardson is the most athletic QB to ever step on an NFL field.
Yeah, I just looked
We've been
up,
talking about this for a long time, though.
Oh, you're good.
I just looked up Cam Newton's stats, because he's the closest comparable to AR, and his MVP season he averaged 24.
Oh man, I auto-picked.
Oof.
Oh, I'm on the clock.
You are on the clock.
But yeah, good question. But
Don't snipe me.
I'm really glad you asked that. You let us go on a little rant there.
Yeah, it's funny. I just rewatched Franchise Guy's video on Anthony Richardson because he's still advertising. It was one of his most successful videos ever. He got like 260,000 views.
Man, what a horrible pick.
You took Charbonnet. Dang it, dude.
I would have taken him too. Good pick. I got auto picked. Okay, so we got a great question from Nelson here. He says, for Dynasty Superflex, I only have Daniel Jones and Matt Stafford. Should I try and add one more QB for insurance? Absolutely. We're looking at Matt Stafford. How old is Stafford now? 36, 35, 36?
He's younger than you think, 35?
Yeah, I wasn't going to say
maybe he is 36.
You know? And Stafford, last time we saw him healthy, I believe he finished QB 5. So that would have been in 2021. He was QB 5. Yep. But the thing is, you're looking at some pretty serious back injuries. And as a human being, you have to think about your future, and that's what Matt Stafford is going to have to be faced with. Is he going to want to continue taking these hits and risking his mobility for the rest of his life? And the short answer, probably not. I mean, he's a competitor, and we've all seen that. We've seen how great he is at the game. All that to say, even without that, he's getting pretty old. He's getting hurt more, and in a Superflex league, you're going to want to look into getting some other guys, and there's some really good values late right now. You're looking at Will Levis, someone who you're probably going to have a buy low window on this year. I'm buying Jordan Love a lot right now. I mean, I drafted him at the 6-6 here. I think that's a great someone for you to go after right now. I mean, Trey Lance is going to get his chance somewhere, we believe. Brock Purdy, we also think, is the starter in San Francisco. You have a lot of options. All that to say, yes, I'm looking for a third quarterback, especially on that roster.
Yeah, I'm not sure I've seen a quarterback next to Andrew Luck of this generation that's gotten punished as much as Matt Stafford. And from a total hits perspective, Stafford's been in the league longer, so he
and you guys got to tell me I'm on the
technically
clock.
has been punished more than Luck was. But man, he's gotta. I mean, he's one of those guys that I think is going to retire earlier than people expected even a year ago. It could be in the next year or two. So.
Yes.
I think his time is up. He's accomplished what he always wanted to accomplish. He won a Super Bowl. And the Rams are rebuilding. How much motivation is he going to have from here on out? I don't know how much he's going to have. So
we get another really good question here. I want you to answer this. Nathan, in Dynasty, this is a question from Red. Who has the highest upside? George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, or Treylon Burks?
George Pickens, Jahan Dotson, or Burks. Better upside. Upside, you have to go Treylon Burks because Jahan Dotson is playing with Terry McLaurin for the foreseeable future, at least 2 more years, because Terry is still under contract. I anticipate them having Dotson longer than Terry, but again, Burks is more of he's more of an athlete. He is. He can do a lot with the ball in his hands. He can stretch the field. He
6'2", 225, and ran a 4.55.
He's a big dude. Dotson is he is a career 2 from an NFL perspective. That is the type of wide receiver that he'll play that can limit your upside long term for a wide receiver. Then you got George Pickens, who I think is also a career 2. He had a successful year last year. I think the Dynasty community has been relatively conservative with how they're going to rank him because they're aware of the situation in Pittsburgh and the fact that even though Pickens had 800 yards, he could have limited upside as well. I think it's very wise of the Dynasty community. I have bought a couple shares of him because he's fallen in value a bit.
Wide receiver 32 right now. He peaked at wide receiver 15 back in December.
Yeah, but my pick would be Burks there. I don't think DeAndre Hopkins, obviously long-term, doesn't hurt Burks at all. For Burks' long-term value in Dynasty, I think this
favorable matchups.
This is awesome for him to be with DeAndre Hopkins. He's going to learn a lot. So
I think that's a really good point. Speaking on Burks, right now, he's in Tennessee. Who would he have to learn from? I think NFL wide receivers, they're going to come in, and you have a coach, right? You have a coach for a reason because you have to learn the art of being a wide receiver in the league. But you want to see someone else doing it. You want to see someone else showing you how to prepare week in and week out and what things can really give you a leg up on your opponents. And who better to learn from DeAndre Hopkins, one of the best wide receivers in the NFL and absolutely a Hall of Famer. And I think that's going to help Treylon Burks a lot. And not even to mention the favorable matchups he's going to have this year. You're up now.
Yep.
But I've never been as high on Burks as you and Avery have been. And I look at Dotson. I think his upside, like you said, playing next to Terry McLaurin, who's a top 10 NFL wide receiver, in his own right. But Dotson, he really has some special skills. He can really separate in the end zone. That's why he had all those touchdowns last year. And people say, he might be the number one in Washington. I'm a lot more conservative in that, right? And I do like Dotson. And when I look at Burks, I think he also has an elite skill set to separate down the field and to really go up and get the ball. He has some of the best hands in the league, just like Jahan Dotson does. And I think he has the ability, playing next to a top 10 route runner in the league with Deontay Johnson. I think Burks and Deontay have like a 1A, 1B type thing going there. And I think it's a really good question. I will still go with Treylon Burks. Yeah. Long-winded answer.
Burks is a project wide receiver. The Titans knew that when they drafted him. And he struggled with injury a little bit last season just with the turf toe. And then he got absolutely lit up in the end zone when he had that touchdown catch.
I was
that's just
watching
unfortunate.
That live.
He's not injury prone. Don't be worried about the injuries. He's going to be fine this year. Logan, I don't know if this came through on our last technical difficulty live stream, but Logan says, I just traded away Zay Jones, Deontay Foreman, and a 25 third and received a 25 first. You guys are right, send offers. Nice job. Don't expect fleeces like that to happen all the time, and we would recommend don't be sending crazy low balls all the time because you want to stay in good graces and good relationships with your league mates to have that league last as long as possible. But, man, if you're getting offers like that, smash them. Take them. Nice job. Manuel Camacho.
Here. Yeah, there you
Manuel
go.
Camacho says, is taking Addison or Quentin Johnson in the 4th or 5th in a dynasty startup too early? What about Dotson in the 6th?
Nathan, you're on the clock.
Thank you. I don't think taking either of those guys there is bad at all. They both have first-round draft capital as wide receivers going into really, really good situations. And
they both went in the 5th here. Fans. I think you're feeling really good if you get them in the 5th.
Yeah, I have no problem taking Quentin Johnson specifically in the 4th round. I would be reluctant to do that with Addison in the 4th because long-term his dynasty upside is going to be limited playing with Justin Jefferson. But Quentin Johnston, they drafted him to replace Keenan Allen. And look at what Keenan Allen has been doing with the Chargers for so long. Like, that's got to be so exciting for you. And Quentin Johnson, I think that you can make a case that he's being a little bit undervalued right now. Michael Fernandez said, would you rather trade away Ayuk, J-Mo, as in Jameson Williams, or a 2025 first in a 10-team Superflex Dynasty Start 9? So 10-team, you definitely want to have those high upside guys.
There's a clear answer to me here. I want to hear your answer.
Okay. Start 9. I mean, I'm not giving up a 25 first for J-Mo or Ayuk.
No. I think he's saying, which one would you trade away? He's looking to trade one of them away.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Yuck. Limited upside, I'd trade away Ayuk.
Yep. I'm with you there. And not even for that reason in my mind. I'm looking at the 25 first, only going to gain value from here on out. J-Mo is a sell low right now, so I'm not looking to trade him at all. I mean, I think the closer he gets to week 6 or week 7, when he'll return, the more his value is going to go up. I think you're hurting yourself by selling him now.
Getting out at the wrong time.
He's hovering in the wide receiver 16 to 24 range on keep trade cut right now. And I think, like Nathan said, his upside is limited, and I think that's the one you're looking at having the best chance of being able to sell high.
Yeah,
Thank you, Sam.
We got 19 likes on this live stream right now and about 45 people watching. We got a ton of people. We really appreciate you guys coming in and sticking with us while we were going through everything tonight, and it has been a ton of fun. And we're not done. We're not done with the mock draft yet. We still got to pick our favorite teams, still hang out with you guys, answer any questions that you guys have here in the comments. Drop them. Team situations, trade offers, anything. What our favorite color is, what our favorite dog is. If we drive 140 miles in a 55 to get our dog to the vet in time, would you do that? Would you?
No.
You wouldn't do it?
No, I mean, my sister's an EMT. And paramedics and ambulances can't even drive that fast. So I think it's an interesting choice on his part, but at least he wasn't drunk, he wasn't high, he wasn't doing anything like that crazy with his friends. So good for him, and to a certain extent, if you follow. We got another question here from Dynasty Dumpster Fire. Thanks for talking so much in chat. You're giving us a lot to talk about. Here we go. I like this question a lot too. In a 12-team Superflex PPR start 10, 6-point passing touchdown, I believe. Would you rather have Lamar in a 25 first or Hurts? Sorry, I didn't hear if you answered this already.
So I would prefer 6-point passing.
This is,
touchdown. Honestly, give me Lamar in the first.
Really?
12 teams, super flex, 25 first. I'll take Lamar. Yeah.
I might be there too. I'm the uneducated one here.
No, you're fine. I mean, I understand that because a 25 first has a pretty high chance of landing early because you're so far removed from it. I'm taking Hurts. I think he has higher passing upside. Lamar's not going to have as much of a leg up on his opponents with his rushing ability, and I get Hurts and Lamar. That's what makes both of them so valuable is their rushing.
Yeah. So here's my
is going to be passing more touchdowns for the foreseeable future.
Yeah. Here's my.
He
thing
also
with
has better
both
protection.
Here's my thing with both of those guys though. Lamar, correct. He struggled with injury for the past couple seasons. They bring in Todd Monken. I think he's going to actually pass more this year.
I agree with you.
And he showcased a lot of that at the beginning of the season last year, and then Roman decided to do stupid stuff. And
Lamar has top-tier upside.
Top-tier upside, MVP. We all know the story. They have the same contract, so I think from a contract situation, obviously the same. And when you're looking at the 25 first being the decider here, with the rushing upside that both of those players have, and Jalen Hurts is not exempt from injury, okay? He was struggling with injury at the end of last season, and that did hurt a bit, pun intended.
Nice.
But what I'm saying is you'll be really happy having that 25 first where in a couple years you have no idea what's going to happen with these rushing upside quarterbacks.
Yeah.
I mean, anything could happen. Kyler, one of them could tear their ACL like Kyler because of their rushing upside. And that's just something, that's a security blanket that I'd be happy having, and it's something I would be willing to get for down tiering from Hurts.
The crazy thing is looking at Lamar, his ceiling since he became the starter has been 22.8 points per game, or 20.3 points per game. And the worst he's been in the league was 8th in the league in points per game, with 750 rushing yards in 12 games as his floor. Like, that's the least he's rushed for. That's a pretty crazy floor, and he's been doing it for a long time now, 4 years.
Yeah. Stock Exchange had to dip, said he's going to watch Barbie.
Barbenheimer.
Let's go. Dude, Barbie blew Oppenheimer out of the water over their first weekend. They like doubled their box office. But
Oppenheimer had like no budget for marketing.
They marketed it a ton.
I didn't see anything.
I saw
a lot of Barbie.
Well, I follow Christopher Nolan a lot more closely, so I guess it just shows up in my feed. But
let's talk about favorite teams.
Yeah, let's do favorite teams. Then we have 2 more questions to answer here.
Yeah.
All right, everyone in their chat, let's hear your favorite teams.
Holy crap. I love Charms right off the bat. I don't even have to look at everyone's teams. I love Charms' team. Yeah, AR, Deshaun Watson, CJ Stroud at a fine value.
That 10-11 turn, man.
Yeah, Christian Watson, QJ, Pickens, Dotson getting just a ton of great value there at wide receiver. I love it. Kendry Miller, Roschon Johnson, rookie running backs that are put in positions where they could produce this year and increase in value. I like that as well. Jaden Reed, Josh Downs, some of our best late round, not even late round flyers, second round guys in this year's rookie class. Love both of them, their situations.
I love Danny's team at the 3.
Good job.
That's my pick. Okay. He's got Hurts and Kyler, follow up with Pitts and London. We've already talked about that, but he's got some really good wide receivers. Landon Christian Kirk in the 8th, and we're not Devon Achane fans at all, but he essentially landed Devon Achane in the 12th round there, so that's a really good pickup, as well as Will Levis late.
I'm liking a lot of these teams.
Yeah.
Evan Ingram at the 9-12 is a phenomenal value there. At the guy going 1 with Mahomes, Waddle, Kupp, Higgins, DJ Moore, Godwin, J-Mo, Aaron
Jones. You got to shout out Blind. He's
Good
consistently drafting really well.
Yep.
Derrick Henry at the 6-4.
That is good. That's good. I've seen him fall to the 7th often, but that's good value there.
That still is good value.
Yep. Evan Ingram, though, man, we are not ones to say take tight ends other than the top 6, but if you're getting Evan Ingram, who was a top 6 producing tight end last season, not Kyle Pitts because he was hurt, I mean, you got to be liking his value there at the 9-12 when he just signs a long-term extension with the Jags to be with Trevor Lawrence for the next 2 seasons at least. He hasn't out after the 2nd season, but I'm liking that.
There we go.
All right. Give you guys 30 more seconds to ask us any questions in the comments before we dip here. But thank you guys so much for stopping in, for sticking with us tonight and doing this mock draft with us. This was a good mock draft. We had a lot of really good values falling here, a lot of good stuff. Crazy Madness 999 says, what range would you be comfortable taking Aaron Rodgers in? I've got Kyler and Kirk Cousins already. Well, let's see where Rodgers went here at the 8-10.
I'll take him. Too early there, though.
I'll take him.
You're looking at Brock Purdy going later than that, Trey Lance, Mac Jones.
I can't believe I'm saying this, about the back-to-back MVP who just came off of a season where he was playing with a broken thumb on his throwing hand and no Devontae Adams. Like, I think Aaron Rodgers is being slept on this year in fantasy. Dynasty, you can debate all you want. He's kind of a wild card in
fantasy, I agree.
Perspective, but in fantasy, he's being slept on. Dynasty, I'm gladly taking him at the 8th or the 9th round because, I mean, Tom Brady last year was going as high as the 5th.
Oh, wow.
Like I saw him
don't ever
5th or 6th round
that.
is where he was going. So I like Rodgers here, and he could be rejuvenated, want to be with the Jets for a couple seasons. So appreciate you guys. Go check out flockfantasy.com. If you haven't already, please use code DOMAIN and do us a favor there. That helps us out a ton. You get exclusive videos, exclusive articles, Discord rankings from Stock Exchange, Endgame, Fantasyland, Fantasy Flock, and us. So been a ton of fun hanging out there. And if you have not done Underdog, you can drop your first deposit there. They'll match it dollar for dollar up to 100. And if you use code DOMAIN there too, that does us a big favor as well. So appreciate you all, and like that video if you haven't already. And we'll talk to you guys later, probably this Friday. Twos.